Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com, and we're with Jason Cole, who's trying to see his shadow, and Mike Hines. And so last week I got on the phone and I said, hey, I don't think I have anything to talk about because it's 20 degrees outside and icy. And the ice was so bad that I couldn't open my truck, Jason. Did I tell you that?
Oh, you did? I couldn't get mine either.
And so, oh, look at that. I told you he's only 12. So Jason called last night, or he texted me and he said, hey, field tomorrow at 1, which meant furious building. I do want to apologize. There was an RCer going through town who invited me to breakfast, Colton Clark. And I said, dude, on the one day of this month when I have to make an airplane fly, it's today and I can't do it. And he was right, because I was actually minutes late getting everything handled. So what we're going to do is flip it around. We're going to talk about some of the airplanes that we have out here that we're shooting for reviews, and we'll talk about each one. What? All right, Mike, we're on the right channel. We actually have live viewers on.
Cool.
And tell us about this thing.
Okay, this is Horizon's 64mm F-16. It's new. Very simple airplane, no flaps, no retracts, just ailerons and elevator. It doesn't even have rudder, but it does have steerable nose wheel. Like I said, it's 11 blade 64mm fan, 3 or 4S. I've only actually flown it on 4, and I suspect that that's really the way people will be flying it. Quite quick, but very, very smooth. The AS3X really is a nice touch on this because it kind of smooths out any turbulence. Lands beautifully. Landing gear's a bit narrow, so you kind of have to be careful taxiing that you don't tip it over. But it's a 2200 4S, and it's a 3-minute airplane. I mean, you're not going to get much more than 3 out of it if you're flying it around in a healthy fashion. But all in all, very, very pleased with it. I had a couple of the other guys in the club fly it, and everybody that flew it really, really enjoyed it.
Let me interject. Steve Wattenberg says we were late. Steve, we are governed by the laws of wind and batteries at this point. So we're right on time. And Steve says not for the grass. And I thought you might want to talk about the ability to fly this thing on grass.
You know, we actually haven't tried. I suspect that, you know, it would be that it would work. It can be flown. You can pull the gear off and hand launch it.
Right, that's what I was alluding to. You can actually pull that gear off.
Yeah, you can.
Recreation here.
I don't know if you heard that. I'm going to get Jason to redo that jet reenactment. Hold on real quick. Jason, do that jet sound again.
Sounds like a decoder ring.
That's a pretty good. Yeah, you blow into it.
Right. The ordnance on this thing is glued on. It doesn't have rails where they slide on and lock on. So I assume that if you were going to fly it hand launch, you'd probably not mount the ordnance, except for the little tip rockets there. But other than that, you know, I think it's a winner.
So Mike shot the flying photos, the build photos, and we just shot the flying video, and so he's good to go back and make that happen. Daniel Haynes says, great sound effects, Jason.
Thanks, man. I've been practicing.
So over here in the bright sunlight, we have the BOT, the big orange thing.
The bot.
This is the CF 1500, and I gotta say, it does look like a big airplane, except when I was trying to transport it, it didn't transport like a big airplane because those wings pop off. Let me tell you something right now. Those little screws on the top there, the 4 nylons that hold it on, you want to keep hold of those. Jason and I drove away from the house without them, had to go back and get them. And then I dropped one in the leaves this morning, and that was a 40-minute look around. So I might even order like 8 more of those things just to have. It is very awesome, and we have flown it. I'm charging the pack just to see what kind of total flight time I can get out of it. The landing gear is interesting. If you're like Jason, it's almost like a magnet sucking it to the ground. If you're like me, it's more like a boxcar going down railroad track. Pa-pink, pa-pink, pa-pink. But it took it both ways, and I'm going to include my first terrible landing so you can see what that looks like. And
What is this?
So check that out, Jason. I didn't show you that. Check it out. If you're a FPVer,
Oh.
you can put FPV right on the top. Which
gotcha.
I don't know that how landing this would be an FPV. You might have to.
Oh, it'd be a piece of cake.
Would it? You
It'd be
think?
great. Yeah.
Landing's always a little tricky. And then the top, pop that top off. So.
Boy, that's massive.
And you know, a lot of the recent airplanes I've been reviewing all have batteries from the bottom. You have to flip it over and all that stuff. It's very nice to have this huge
Yep.
entry point for your
You can get it
battery.
on either side. Have plenty of room to work.
And that canopy pops right off, no big deal.
Yep.
The big, if I had to say something that really scared me, it was these props, because everybody online and in videos were like, if you don't put them on tight enough, they'll blow off in flight and you'll lose one and then you'll spin into the earth if you don't react
It's
quick
a lot
enough.
of bladage.
It's also very dense. They're not like normal nylon props. Those are
They're heavy.
hyper
feels
dense.
heavy.
Yeah, they're like ninja throwing stars. So Lane Stair this morning made a post. He said that women look for, this is completely off the topic. He said that women are looking for men who make them laugh and can protect them. And so he said what he thinks now is that women are looking for ninja clowns. So the ninja throwing star made me think of that. So anyway, good looking airplane. We were trying to get more rudder out of it. We're running stock setup right now and we all want more rudder. We weren't able to get that out of it. But man, what a nimble little bird with tons of power and certainly flies unlike what you would think it would.
About the rudder, I noticed the same thing on my Carbon Z Cub, and I think it has to do with the programming in the AS3X receiver, like when safe mode is active or not active. I think we have to go in and disable something in order to get full, end-to-end travel on the rudder servo, because we're really not doing it. But I also just noticed something else, Jim T.
Hey, a little loose?
This guy
It's not in.
is not locked in.
You know what?
Now it is.
Oh.
We flew like that.
It probably happened when he bounced the land.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're here to test these things out, though, so we're doing our job.
I like the bot, man.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
And we're looking at flight time, so we're thinking 8 to 10 minutes. So I've got the pack on charge again.
And it can be used as a safety flotation device should you have a water landing.
Actually, it comes
just
with
let you know.
it comes with skis that mount where the wheels go. So thrust differential was just asked.
Thrust differential. Yeah, you'd have to split it. I'm sure you put it together, but I'm sure the throttles are harnessed into the throttle channel.
Yeah. There's no thrust differential.
So you could, if you got a big enough receiver with enough channels, then you could separate those two speed controllers, and pretty cool, and probably make hovering a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm. And I know that everyone flaps, but if this stays my airplane, I would pull the flaps and just run one single aileron all the way down the line.
No, here's what I would do. You get a bigger receiver with enough channels to do differential. I would.
I'll put it on the switch.
I would make the ailerons have the combined thing for flaps. So when you pull flaps, you get these really nice, big, really effective flaps. And then I would have all four channels separated, so then you can then mix and then have a full span aileron, and then the giant big flaps as well.
What if you turn it into an elevon? So it's almost like a wing type of deal.
You got a longer tail, so it probably won't be as effective. But you could
very
mix.
interesting.
You could mix it to work with your elevator and make it more
The really
effective.
fast landings, you could mix in crow like they do in
Yeah.
Right. You have like maybe 6 crows. You know,
Coming
you
straight
got up, down, up, down,
Get a
up.
reversible ESC, so then you can hover upside down and go backwards.
Oh, yeah.
You can land and hit the brakes and let it stop instantly.
I will say it certainly is a handsome airplane in real life out in the field.
There's so much you can do to it, and we haven't even talked about the Bombay door.
Oh yeah, well, there's no battery in it, and I can't tip it up on its nose.
Well, yeah.
But it does have the drop
Cargo door.
back here,
Cargo.
right here, working off the gear switch. And it's pretty trick. I'm sure they're going to invent something that can go in there and like
We're gonna have
parachute.
to play with it because of the way the door comes down. It comes down in this flat.
Yeah, like you're driving a
You
truck
can't
up
go
on it.
down below the wheel line, but I'm wondering how much, if there's any air pressure that would actually force something that
Out.
was tucked in out.
You would
I
have
don't know.
you'd have to nose up.
You put a little toy Jeep in there with a parachute,
Yeah.
let it open, the parachute
That's
blowing out the back.
Now Horizon has
exactly what we need.
videos of cars coming out with parachutes.
Oh, yeah. Cool. And then I thought you could come in for a landing, do like a touch and go,
Drop it.
slow down, drop it, let a truck drive out onto the runway, and then take back off.
You know what might be cooler is if you did a touch and go and drove something into the airplane and then took off. That'd be pretty
That
awesome.
would be impressive.
So Mike, what you got there?
This is one that I did a review on recently. And,
Jason, if you'll hold it, I'll get Mike's voice from this side.
Okay.
It's the P-39, and again, that's a 3 or 4S airplane. Mostly fly it on 4, although, you know, where some 3S, 4S airplanes don't fly well on 3, this one actually flies very, very well on 3. So it's got flaps, retracts, the whole bit. And it's out here with me, even though I was doing work on the F-16 today, because it goes to the field with me almost every time I go, because it's just so much damn fun.
He likes it.
I like it a lot.
Split
I
flaps
like
are
it a
cool.
lot.
The split flaps are great. That's landing flaps. You know, takeoff flaps are about there, but they work very nicely, and it's really a fun airplane to fly. Fast on 4 cells. It's fast, rock solid.
You can shoot
And
through the nose.
you can shoot through the nose. You got the whole bit, and it has no suspension. You know, there's nothing that travels. There's no shocks, no nothing. But honest to goodness, it does not need it because it lands so soft, and it's so easy to land. It's a really sweet airplane.
And
I
it's
like it a lot.
toothy. I love
Anybody with this many exhaust stacks
Yeah.
sitting underneath them is a pretty cool dude.
Think how much your butt vibrate with that big motor right back there.
Yeah, I just wonder how nervous they were with the drive shaft running between their legs. Is what I wondered.
really take their life in their own hands. Somebody says that it's pretty cold in GA in Georgia. It was 46 when you called when I looked this morning, and so I bet it's like 50 right now.
Yeah, I saw it was going to be actually over 50 and sort of sunny, and I was like, we have to go do some stuff today because it's been in the teens and super
it's
cold.
It's been
crazy.
nasty.
So today's really nice compared.
No, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Daniel Haynes says that you have the moves of Prince, Jason, and I was thinking if I didn't know that you didn't drink, I would think you had been drinking based on your dance moves. So usually we have many more airplanes than this, but we are reaching December, and I was just saying this is probably the last bird that I'll review until spring.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? How far will you go?
Well, I come out here for the polar bear thing, which
January
is January
1.
1st.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times it's a really nice day.
Yeah, this is Tennessee.
It's just about tiny whoop season for me.
Let me flip
Yeah.
around here.
Play indoors.
So Jason,
With the
speaking of
mini
which,
drones.
what's your next deal? Do you have anything to do?
Oh, I'm heading to Florida next week where it's going to be 75 and sunny and light and variable winds. And
Do you
I'll
think
be
you'll retire there when
competing
you're
at the Tangerine? I might just go find some kind of glider port and hang out and see if they'll let me stay there.
There you go.
What are you doing? Are you got some Thanksgiving plans or anything?
No, actually, well, yeah, we do. Actually, we're going to Florida. Actually, down to kind of the coast there.
Yeah.
Just have a great time with the family.
We're going to take everyone to see Doyle and Debbie. If you haven't seen it, it's a psychodrama country thriller that's live
Okay.
at the Station Inn. And then we're going to Watertown and spending the night at a friend of ours' gigantic 1880s depot. It's a train
Go
depot.
to the drive-in over there.
Yeah, well, we're going to do everything that can possibly be done. We're bringing guitars and kids.
Yes.
So we're going to have it
It's like
all.
a blast.
Maybe I'll bring, I don't know what airplane I might bring. Jason, we're still podcasting here basically, or broadcasting. I still want and you know me, I'm fickle. I want things and I don't want them anymore after about a week. I still want the, the sailplane that lights up, the
The Night Radian.
night radian. Yes, I still want that.
Yeah. I still have one.
And you still don't want
And
to
I
sell
still
it.
like it.
Yeah, you still like it. Okay. You don't have a night radian in your stash.
I
do you?
do not have a night radian.
So I have the big crazy looking Cal airplane from Lane's Planes, but the night radian just looks so effortless and,
Now, I'd be
awesome.
willing to part with it for like $1,000
Yeah, see there.
if you
go.
want it that bad.
Maybe a BOT's in your future. that would be
The bot.
quite a trade on your side, I think.
Maybe we can shove the fuselage into the cargo door. And,
Yeah, drop it.
and drop
Let
the night
it
radian
fold out.
from the air.
I got a cool kit at the club breakfast the other morning. I got an old
Let's all rotate.
Cumulus XXL.
A what?
A Cumulus.
Cumulus, the
XXL.
biplane?
No, no.
No,
the
it's a
Cumulus
sailplane.
sailplane.
It's a
Yeah, it was
sailplane.
a Graupner kit.
It was
from
a
back in the
it was
day.
Graupner.
It's one of the ones we used to sell at Hobby
I was
Lobby.
thinking it was that EPP.
No, this is
biplane
all
thing.
built up. The fiberglass fuse and the built up
Yeah.
wings. It's beautiful.
I remember now.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Detail.
Very cool.
Very nice. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I got to tell you something. Now that we're looking in this field over here,
Yeah.
I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I just got the PC version. I'll rotate
You getting
for you
some
guys.
sun flares?
Now, see this pasture back here and this mountainside? If I were in Red Dead 2, I would be scoping that for bucks that I could shoot and bring back to my, I have a little camp that we make things out of and sell.
Uh-huh.
And so when I turned around,
some
I
bear skin?
literally was like scanning for bucks and realized that's a game and not real life.
I've been dodging them with my truck lately.
Oh my
Dear,
goodness.
oh God.
They're all
Time to go hibernate.
Scares me to death with the red truck. I need to get a truck whistle. You got any truck whistles on your truck?
No.
You put a little, I mean, not a truck whistle, a deer whistle.
Deer whistle?
Yeah, silent deer whistle. All right, y'all. Well, we were out here and we made the choice that today's the day to go out. And then it occurred to me while we were standing here, it'd be a great day also to do a live broadcast.
That's right.
All right. Hey,
Enjoy it.
Talked to Matt Gunn this weekend. He says hello to everybody.
Hot trigger!
Hot trigger! Somebody down now. All right, y'all. Jason Cole, Jim T. Graham, Michael Hines
Bye-bye.
at the Edwin Warner Field, the oldest airfield in the country in Nashville, Tennessee. Thanks for signing in. Thanks for our live users and all the thumbs up. Also, P.S. This is an internal message from Jim Graham at RCGroups. The Black Friday mass email will be going out next week. There'll be one for RCGroups and there'll be one for Flying Giants. If you want to get in on that, shoot me a PM. If you are just a normal guy who wants great deals, make sure you check your inbox and click the links to see what everyone's offering. Cool? All right. I'm going to turn this box
Bye.
off. And that is all.
And
3,